Slay. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the King and Queen podcast. Vince is out due to COVID. How Trump handled it, which I personally believe he did not handle it well at all.
Tonight we're going to do a special segment. We have a Never Have I Ever segment. Never have I ever ghosted anybody.
Oh, definitely. I've definitely done that. Slay, we back. We are here and we are queer, but just for this podcast only. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the King and Queen podcast. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We're back. And it's just Bailey and I tonight.
That's right.
Welcome
back to the Otown Talk.
Welcome back. And only for tonight are we going to act this way. At least me.
Well, who knows? Maybe Vince won't come back.
Actually, yeah, now that Vince isn't here, I can actually show the real me, the real three. So yeah, we are doing the King and Queen podcast. It's just me and my wonderful co-host Bailey. Unfortunately, Vince is out due to COVID.
Yeah, a little sketchy.
Which is weird because I thought COVID was left in 2021. Just 2020? Yeah, I don't ever. It's actually kind of weird because I feel like I never know. When did COVID actually stop per se? Was it really 2022 or was it 2021?
I think it was the beginning of 2022 is when it started to really die down. That's the end of 2021 when the vaccines were a really big thing.
Right. We started treating everything normally. Started kind of moving back to normal. But now, apparently, because we were doing some research prior to the pod, we found
who.gov.
Yeah, I was just about to say from the World
Health Organization.
That. And apparently from July till today's date, there's been 1.1 roughly million new deaths from COVID.
That's nuts. So it was said it was a 63% increase in cases.
For that time span of the month to month, so from July to August, but for deaths from July till August, it was a 17.5% increase, which that blows my mind. I literally thought we were done with COVID. I didn't really think that it was still going on.
Right.
Come to find out, Vince, it was in the whole situation. The whole thing is weird because Vince was actually over here. I don't have COVID clearly. But Vince was over here and we were talking about the podcast, talking about a bunch of other things, and he felt fine to an extent, but when he left, he said that his allergies felt like it was acting up. He just started to not really feel good. And then following day, he texts all of us and he's like, dude, I feel like shit. And yeah, coming to find out, he got tested and he has COVID. So that's why he's not with us.
You never got vaccinated, right?
I don't think he did.
Did you?
I did.
You did? I didn't.
A few years ago.
Not because I don't believe in it. I'm just honestly scared of needles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, you don't have it?
No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
See, I didn't necessarily want to get it because I just didn't. I was kind of feeding into the hype, to be honest. Wasn't really doing research, wasn't looking, But either way, I just didn't want to get it. But my ex at the time was really kind of pushing that. And then where I used to work, everyone there was kind of getting it and they were kind of giving me some insight to it. So needless to say, I was kind of persuaded into getting it. But I got the Johnson & Johnson, so I got the 2-for-1 special.
Okay, yeah, you had to go get the booster.
Yeah, no, actually, that was the only one I got. I haven't had anyone since.
Oh, okay.
But what's even weirder about that is probably a good few months, probably 6-7 months after that, my dad and I went to New Jersey for a concert, and I wound up getting COVID there, which I don't really know why, but it didn't. I wasn't
mass crowding.
Yeah, probably. I definitely would do it.
Maybe.
Probably had something to do with it. But I just lost my sense of smell and taste. I was
for a long time?
I'd say probably 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Dang,
yeah,
okay.
I mean, I started getting it and getting symptoms towards the end of the trip. So we're in this is kind of bad to say, but we're in the airport. This is when we had to wear face masks and all that, and that's when they were actually being strict about it though.
Right.
So we went there and I was still feeling like shit. And then, as just the days progressed, I felt better and better. And then finally, you know, my senses came back. But I didn't feel as bad as Vince probably feels right now. Like he said he's really down bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how he got it.
I had it at the beginning of 2022.
I can't say. He knows.
I feel like I know, but anyways.
You probably do.
Recent international trip of some sort.
Something to that extent.
Perhaps.
I wouldn't know anything about it.
But R.I.P. Inside joke. But
that is funny.
no, so I got it at the beginning of 2022, like when it was kind of over with. I thought that it was just
really?
Yeah. And it was horrendous. I literally felt like I was going to die. Like I've never been so sick in my life. I had 104 fever for like 4 days straight. It
Holy
never
shit,
broke.
Really?
Yeah. And I did lose my sense of smell, but only for like 2-3 days, and taste too. Only for like 2-3 days.
Fucking lucky.
See, yeah, that was it was so weird.
How long did you have it for? You had it, you said, for what, 4 days it just knocked you out, or?
I was definitely out for the count for like 4 days, but I was probably so contagious after like 3 more after that.
Really?
Back then, the CDC said you had to stay indoors for like 7 days.
Oh yeah, because you got it in 2022 when like no one was getting COVID, when like it was damn.
Yeah,
dead,
it was like
right?
which is why I was so shocked.
It's actually kind of more interesting because since we're now a year later and now Vince gets it, but you're not vaccinated either, and if Vince isn't vaccinated, then that's kind of funny only because I'm obviously vaccinated. And it didn't put me down as bad as it might have put y'all down.
Yeah.
But despite that, I still did lose my sense of smell and taste.
Right.
Did you ask Vince if he lost his sense of taste and smell?
No, I feel like he would have said it.
Yeah, he probably would have mentioned that.
We should check in.
I don't care about it that much. He's not here right now.
But no, I at that time I had wished that I had gotten the vaccine because I was like, I would rather I would rather get poked 10 times with the needle than experience this.
Really? You were down that bad?
I was like, I could not breathe. Like I could not stop coughing, and
holy
like
shit.
it was rough. But
yeah, see, I'm thankful it didn't affect me like that. I mean, and that doesn't go to say that, I mean, whether you're vaccinated or not, because the whole thing, I mean, it affects everyone differently, but I unfortunately have I guess not unfortunately, because it kind of saved me more than you and Vince.
Yeah, seriously.
Or maybe it's a ginger thing. I don't know.
Could be. Actually, that's a thing that gingers are more prone to infection. Like if something could go wrong, it's more likely going to go wrong in a ginger. Like if you get some type of surgery, you got to be extra careful about that.
And why is that?
I don't know. It's just like a lower immunity, maybe. I only learned this.
So special. Huh?
I got my wisdom teeth removed in my not orthopedic, my periodontist. I think that's what they're called. I don't know. He was a ginger and he told me that. No, but it's different. It's not. I don't know.
You're a dentist.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Sure.
You would think I was in the medical field, but I don't.
But
Health Academy.
Really?
I was in the Health Academy at Seminole, so you would think I would know, but I didn't pay attention.
You know, that's kind of interesting. Speaking of Seminole, that you're learning about COVID in school right now. And what class is that?
Oh yeah, that's the whole reason why I brought it up too. It's my social problems class. Ironically enough, it's a sociology based elective, and the first reading, you know, everyone knows, man. First week, you're not doing anything. You just got to do the introductions. That's your first assignment. You really start to buckle down.
That's your last week of summer is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. After that, yeah, I'll start typing some assignments out. So I didn't read that first chapter because why would I? Second chapter, obviously, did have to read. And I just thought it was interesting because it starts off with essentially how COVID affected us socially. And it does dive into how Trump handled it, which... And I said this, I'm pretty sure, the last podcast. I'm not political at all. I don't pay attention to that shit. Now, there are some things I pay attention to and I notice. And it was just funny because it dusted off a lot of the old shit that I remember about Trump and how he handled the situation, which I personally believe he did not handle it well at all. Granted, he was dealt a bad hand to an extent, but nevertheless, could have handled it differently. But yeah, they just talk about how COVID was affecting all of us just kind of globally, especially more so like they kind of talked about the nurses and everything. It literally starts off this one nurse. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry, but he was there consecutively for over 293 days. It's actually kind of crazy. I remember that's the exact number. At least I'm almost positive. Might be off by like 2, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, holy shit, which opens my eyes. And I would imagine hopefully others, because, you know, regular people like us that obviously aren't in the medical field, let alone nurses, don't have to deal with that. You know, we were able to, yeah, we might have been sick, maybe not as super sick, but, you know, we at least got to be home, relaxed.
Yeah.
Didn't have to take care of anyone but ourselves. And, you know, these guys are out there busting their ass trying to make sure everyone's getting taken care of. They saw a bunch of death too. I mean, they were talking about the not mental problems, but the problems it would cause on your mental, seeing so many people dying per day. I mean,
and people just in so much pain and agony.
I mean, these people couldn't breathe. It's really kind of sad. But it's even crazier to think that here we are 2023 and we're still. I don't know if it's really going to make a big comeback or not, but based off that stat that we just looked at, that's scary. That's kind of scary. Just from last month to this month, 17.5% increase.
It's kind of weird though, because I'm not hearing about this anywhere. We heard about it because Vince had COVID and we did our own research.
Right, yeah.
It's not on the news. Nobody's talking about it.
No, it's actually funny you say that. And it's actually ironic you say that too, because I don't know if anyone else has dealt with this. You said you don't have Spectrum, right? You said your parents have Spectrum.
Not cable.
Oh yeah, you don't have cable.
Yeah.
Broadcast. So, so for people that don't know, huge college football guy. For people that also have Spectrum and are also fellow Gator fans, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
So this past weekend, it was this past Thursday actually, because I forgot the Gators played on Thursday. Man, I'm watching. So when I'm at work, I throw ESPN on. I work from home, so I watch ESPN pretty much all day, right? No issues the entire day. 8 o'clock at night is when this Gator game is supposed to come on. At 8 o'clock at night, that TV's black right now. Screen goes black. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, did our internet cut out? What's going on? Make a long story short, apparently, Disney owns ESPN, if I'm not mistaken. So they are upping the price or trying to up the price on Spectrum in order for them to show ESPN. And Spectrum was trying to make it a whole ordeal we're on your side. We're trying to keep prices low and all that. And it's look, I get that.
Low? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, on top of that, it's bro, you're not.
I pay $105 for my Wi-Fi bill.
Holy shit.
With Spectrum.
Man, that's not even with cable, so I can only imagine.
Yeah, dude.
Golly.
That's without the phone bill.
So that's even more ironic because it's bro, I don't give a fuck whose side you're on. I want to watch this fucking game. Throw that shit on. So, needless to say, we're not keeping Spectrum anymore.
Yeah.
But so sorry, I almost lost where I was going with that. So I say all that to say, now since I can't watch ESPN, and you can't watch any ESPN shit, I've been watching the news. So to your point, yeah, because I know this for a fact. This entire week they haven't been talking about any of that whatsoever.
It's just the Trump case, right?
It's
and
about
and Biden.
The polls more or less. They've been talking about Biden's age, which the motherfucker's old. We get it.
Yeah,
let's move on. I'm glad we all took a poll to see if he's old enough to run for presidency. I'm glad that's the shit we're focusing on. And then the most exciting thing that's on the news is some murderer is on the loose in Pennsylvania right now. He escaped from jail. So, yeah, if you guys see him around here, make sure you call whoever.
We'll leave a sketch in the description.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he has a beard, kind of. He's younger.
So what kind of murderer is he?
Well, he's a murderer, so he killed someone, if not something. That someone or something, I don't know.
Multiple?
I don't watch the news a lot.
Okay.
So this week is the first week I've actually watched the news. So it's just ironic that you said that because they haven't talked about anything COVID related at all.
It's ironic that you say that because I've been trying to watch the news actually.
The irony cast. This is crazy. Fucking insane. Wow.
I've been on YouTube and because they have Fox Live. It all started during the last hurricane, Idalia. Thing that
the hurricane that didn't hit.
Even sprinkle.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I mean, it rained more 3 days later.
I kind of want to jump back to that, but continue.
What?
Just about the hurricanes, here in Florida.
No, I mean, but that's just, I was oh, well, I see now that they have live stream Fox, CBS. Well, I don't know.
CBS.
Is that? I feel like that's a kid's channel. CBS News, right?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, I've been trying to look, and all it is political stuff. I'm I just want to see what's happening. I don't care about the polls.
Unfortunately, that's why I also don't watch the news or anything like that because it's all biased. I mean, it's really hard to find when I initially went back to school in my English class, one of our assignments was to figure out what's shit on the internet, whether it's fake or real. And so it's kind of cool. within all that, there was like assignment to find like which ones are like biased or whatever. And so throughout looking at, which I'm sure obviously everyone knows,
that's an interesting task.
Right. So CNN is obviously very biasly left, Fox very biasly right. Now, I say all this because the BBC used to be this was a few years ago, not that long ago, but the BBC was essentially like kind of like in the middle. Like if people want to find or watch like, pretty middle grounded, gonna just kind of give you the facts news, they'd go there. But throughout these new years or recent years rather, they've been known to now be, I think, more biasly left. They're kind of more, left leaning. So, but me personally, I don't know a lot of the news outlets or even on YouTube or anywhere else to watch. So genuinely, I'm guilty of saying I watch CNN and Fox. So I just flip back and forth. But it's funny because it's just like what I've realized too with news outlets too. It's just like ESPN. They have, they're all just in a sense that they're all just talking about the same shit the entire day. It's just new people giving you that information with a little bit of their opinion as well as like a little bit of different facts. But genuinely, like it's all the same shit. So it's also funny that you would think that they would talk about other things and they don't. So like they're not still just same thing. The murderer.
It's all just spoofed up facts because they have to draw your attention in to be able to like keep you watching.
Exactly.
The retention.
Right.
So it's like it's all just for the entertainment for the most part, anyways.
They're all just
facts.
It's all like clickbait, just trying to essentially just draw you into what it is.
Old people form of social media.
It's
what they consumed before Instagram.
You're not missing much though. Genuinely, as I watch that shit, it's just so stupid. Like just hearing, it's so funny. People are so stupid. At least I say that. I don't pay. They just sound dumb. It's just funny to me.
I think it's interesting that these are the things that we care about so much. I don't know. Like, why is this our main topic of focus?
Like, is Biden old enough, or is he like too old to run for
shit like that?
What the fuck?
Who? Obviously, first of all,
which by the way,
fucking old.
He's definitely old, but like people like Trump's not much younger than him. I mean, a lot of the people that are running, I don't think are really. Well, I mean, some of them are probably much younger than Joe Biden, let alone Trump. But like, still, like they're both old. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
why aren't there young people running for president?
Well, I know you have to be at least 35 to run for presidency.
That's
but
pretty young.
I think the whole track is because like it's kind of like how you work your way to the NBA. Like, you start off with like,
got to be a politician,
AAU or whatever, and then high school, college, all that. Like, you got to, I think, work your way up to doing that. So these motherfuckers have actually dedicated their whole lives to actually like lying to us, which is so funny. But because they don't ever do what they actually say, which is also funny. Like I'm sure anything that Biden has said, he probably hasn't followed through with it. A lot of the shit Trump said that he was going to do, didn't follow through with it. Same for Barack.
I can hear Vince right now being like, "What do you mean?
Bro,
he did everything.
The fuck out of here! He didn't fucking do that." I'm sorry, Vince. We had to. But
I could literally hear it in my ear.
No, actually,
this is what he did do, though.
I was watching Ben Shapiro. Sorry. Right. No, but that shit's. The craziest part to me too is that Trump leads these polls. And he's still going through like this whole legal issue, but I don't know how all that shit works. But it's so insane because his numbers are just going up.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, no, yeah. Everyone else is kind of like, like Trump is top dog right now. Like he's more than likely probably going to be our next president.
I feel like I don't know though, because what if he gets arrested? Or okay, I'm sorry, he did get arrested. What if he gets put in jail?
If he for
goodsies.
I mean, if he gets actually put in jail, it's gonna be hard to run. But knowing our crazy,
because I think that I don't know
country, we probably would vote him out of jail too. I will say Trump, despite everything that people say, he freed Kodak. And then I think he got Lil Wayne out of some legal trouble. So he's a real one to an extent.
Honestly, I remember not being as poor as I am now when he was president.
So I was going to say, my pockets were fat.
In terms of, yes. I remember getting Amazon packages on the daily. And I still paid rent. I made less than I do now. And I was like, I could throw money at you.
Holy shit. Well, actually, yeah, touche. Because so did I.
No big deal.
And I was still all right. I mean, I guess we'll see. It's coming up soon. I don't pay attention to any of that shit. Yeah. It doesn't make a difference to me, which I know is probably going to piss some people off, but I personally don't think it really matters that much.
I agree.
They're going to lie anyway.
It's funny that you and I are talking about politics when I feel like we're so indifferent about it.
Oh yeah. How we don't even talk about like politics ever, even in like our own food.
Yeah, exactly.
It has never crossed our path. Oh, but so to go back to the hurricane thing, I think it's funny because we apparently have a hurricane that's supposed to hit us this weekend, or it's like forming, it's heading in Florida's direction, but I don't think it's going to hit us.
I think
these hurricanes don't ever fucking hit us.
So last year, last September, that one.
Yeah, Irma or whatever.
I don't
or
think
Matthew.
it was Irma. Oh,
I want to say it was Matthew. I think, Nick, was it Matthew? Do you know the hurricane?
Jamie? No.
Either way, whichever hurricane it was, like not.
That one hit so hard. I could not leave my neighborhood for 3 days.
Yeah, it definitely was. I think that was 2 years ago. I think that was 2020.
It was 2022.
No.
It was. I remember because my roommate called us at 7 a.m.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, it was 2022. Yeah, you're right.
His car got totaled in a flash flood. It's because I'm a woman.
No.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, you are right. That one last year fucked everyone up. Like
Ian.
Oh, it was Ian.
Yes.
Yeah. I knew it was an I one.
You want to know a fun fact about like when hurricanes be flooding the roads and stuff?
I'd love to know. Oh yeah,
a lot of it.
You're a road worker.
A lot of exactly.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is sewage water, because the sewage pipes get backed up. So when you see people on their Instagram, Snapchat, like kayaking, they're kayaking through shit water.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like when it's flooded their house, that's poopy water.
I knew it wasn't like good to swim in that for like other reasons, but that's even more of a reason
sewer
why.
Water, yeah,
Wow.
not all of it, but it's because like the sewer pipes get backed up, and so it has nowhere else to go but the road and your bedroom. So
they probably do that more like up north and stuff.
I mean,
not
here,
up north, but like like in like country places like
Town.
Roll Tide, like
it happened here though.
Go K-State type shit.
When my roommate's car got flooded in poopy water. I mean, you don't know it, but it is.
But that was the last hurricane that genuinely like came through and did some damage. Like every other year, like that's what I'm saying. Like they blue ball us here in Florida. You know what I'm saying?
They
like
do.
a lot. They hype up these hurricanes.
Oh my gosh,
like,
they were saying
it's gonna be like a
catastrophic.
Yeah, they're like, it's gonna be a category 10. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, we're all gonna die. And then we literally just get like little sprinkle, little thunder, lightning here and there.
I was the only person that showed up to the office that day. The day of the hurricane, I drove at like 7 a.m. and I got there, and usually like 5 people are already there, and I'm like, what the heck?
The one that just passed?
Yeah.
I was about to say.
I mean, everybody uses.
Did you not get like the mem? Oh.
No.
Oh, you just love working, huh?
Love it. No, people came later.
Oh, I was about to say.
I just wanted to go because my Spectrum. Yeah, I'll call you out. The Wi-Fi will go out if you on the power line. Or Wi-Fi
that makes sense because we have Spectrum. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not even gonna risk it for the biscuit because they'll make you use PTO if you don't. And I'm trying to vacation.
That's whack.
I'm not gonna use that on a hurricane. No thanks. I could work.
No, bump that. I'd rather everyone just cancel everything.
That's what I'm saying. Rain time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't get why we don't get paid for when we have hurricanes. Like if we're gonna close work,
some companies
due to that is true. Actually, I forgot about that. That is true. I unfortunately don't have that luxury.
I don't either. We used to. Back in the day when I first started here 4 years ago.
Oh, really?
Like my first couple weeks there, because it was like right during hurricane season that I started. Give us 2 days off for a hurricane.
Really?
I don't even remember it doing anything.
Actually, yeah, my other job, I can't speak. Our old job, Nick.
At the sharing
we had
center?
that. Yeah.
That's nice. I love the sharing center, honestly.
Yeah.
That place is.
I don't.
Maybe not to work, but.
I do kind of. I miss like the stuff that would come in. That was like the coolest stuff because like it was just like nostalgic, like other people's style, stuff like that. But working there, yeah.
I used to know somebody that would sort the donations, and they would just give me these awesome gifts. I have a Louis Vuitton wallet from the Christian Sharing Center just because I knew somebody who like was sorting through that.
I will say I definitely got. I got some stuff from there too.
Right.
Like can't even lie. My guy was hooking me up, or girl. Y'all don't know. But yeah, Dan, I don't that hurricane's not gonna hit.
I don't know. I think that this one actually is gonna I think it's gonna
but with that being said, that's why I was also saying this. Because it scares me low key. Because I feel like we are fucking due for one. Like, you know what I mean? Like we go like 3 years in a row, and then we kind of get like a and then now like just keep blue balling us. But I feel like we are due for like just a like
catastrophic.
Like I'm talking Katrina.
Because I feel like based on the weather, you have definitely noticed, and I know everybody watching this podcast has noticed, it has been so hot this summer. It has been hotter than it ever has. My car has never told me that it's 100 degrees outside. Every single day I get in my car after work, it is like 103, 104, which granted that might not be accurate, but that's what my car feels. And if my car feels it, it's true.
I'm going to feel that too.
And so I feel like if we're getting extreme weather in this realm, we're going to get extreme weather in that realm. You know, it just seems, I'm not a meteorologist, but
it's funny you say that.
It would make sense.
Because just like I was saying about watching the news, they did say that there was a record high temperature this past summer. So it's definitely a little bit hotter outside.
A little sketchy.
People don't want to talk about it, but it's getting a little bit hot, especially here in Florida. I mean, it gets hot in the summers, don't get me wrong, but it never, like, that shit was like unbearably hot. Like, I mean,
thank God the sun went down. I was dying out here.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say we're kind of now stepping into that cooler season where it's gonna start being
fall time.
It's gonna be like 90 in the afternoon, and then it's gonna be like 65 at night. I hate that shit. I used to hate that shit with school.
Oh, like going where to school, it gets dark really fast or really early.
No, like you'd go to school like early and it's like, you know, cold. 50, 40 degrees. And then like, you know, by lunch, it's fucking 100. And it's like, bro, like what the hell kind of weather are we having? And then same thing, you know, back to night and then it's just fucking freezing. You can never dress
appropriately.
God, I love when it's cold here though.
I know.
Absolutely love it.
Not very often.
It's very slay.
Can't wait. I'm going to New York in the end of this month actually. Do you think it's going to be cold? No, never.
You ever been to New York? This will actually probably be an interesting time to go between like COVID and all that. So I haven't even been. I've been to New York probably like twice before COVID. I haven't been since, so I can only imagine what it looks like, how it's been.
Well, I'll report back.
I would imagine it's probably still like packed, like
probably.
But are you going on like a girls trip or is it like family or?
I'm taking Brandon to a Giants. No, not Giants. It's Jets Chiefs for his birthday because he's a huge Aaron Rodgers fan.
Does he know this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't be saying it. Yeah.
Okay, because I remember
we've already talked.
I think you were asking us about like what jersey to buy, and I thought you were doing it, but like or the tickets or some shit.
That, so.
Well, we'll cut everything. We'll cut this part out. Either way, I thought it was.
Be in before
I thought it was a ticket, so I was like, oh, okay, that's all right.
No, okay, yeah.
Either way, so you're going to New York for you and your boyfriend's little football game. That'll be fun. That'll be super fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I like the Chiefs, so this is gonna be a good rivalry.
You know, it's funny you say that. I believe he's a tight end. Travis Kelce. Do you know who that is?
I have heard of him.
He just hyperextended his knee, so he's gonna be out for a little while, if not the whole season. Kind of hate to. Yeah, I kind of hate to say that, but yeah,
Patty will pull through. It doesn't matter.
Patty will hopefully pull through, but Travis will not. Unfortunately,
he'll be there next.
He pulled
time.
A little too much.
Ouchie. I'll have to do some research on that. I'm not like I know enough about sports to like have probably a 5-minute conversation, but nothing more. Like
so
when it comes
sad.
to football.
It's just very sad.
I'm trying. I'm learning. So maybe as the days go on, you get an extra couple like 20 seconds. Perhaps.
I don't think you're trying hard enough, honestly. It doesn't seem like there's any effort there. Did you watch any college football this past weekend?
Okay, but I do NFL.
Did you watch any football at all?
I watch Hard Knocks.
Oh, do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll take that. The Jets one. I've been watching that too.
Yeah, it's good, right?
It's really good. I love shit like that.
I like that Magic episode.
I specifically like that type of shit, like with musicians. Like, you know what I'm saying? When like you get like a documentary on them, but like you see like them like in the studio, like actually like crowd, like you kind of get like the behind the scenes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how Hard Knocks is.
Speaking of that, have you seen that of the Gators, The Untold?
Oh hell yeah, Swamp Kings.
Watched it yet. Is it good?
You haven't seen that?
No,
Nick, have you
I was
seen that?
just talking about it with my mom.
Why do I hang out with y'all? Literally.
It's
even
good,
Vince thought he's an FSU fan.
No, Vince saw it.
Dude, that shit's fire. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's actually funny because a lot of people are kind of giving or it's kind of getting some what's the word, flack or whatever the fuck. It's catching some heat. Because they didn't have. Apologize for anyone who hasn't watched it. Spoiler alert. You don't even know the players.
I do.
Neither do you?
I do. Went to high school with somebody who is currently on the team. Two, they're brothers.
Wait, what? Wait, run that back.
I went to high school with two brothers. They're not twins. They're in separate grades, but I don't know. One of them probably graduated and probably is not able to play for them anymore. But I did see him. I think I went last year and I saw him out there.
Wait, the documentary is on like their 2006 through.
Okay, no, I didn't know that. So that, but you said I didn't know any of the players. I do, too.
Whose idea was it for us just to do this podcast?
Braden.
God damn.
Ouch.
Sorry, but really though, no, I'm just joking. Nah.
Okay, no, I didn't know that.
Anyway,
2006.
It's the King and Queen pod.
Word.
Slay, bitch. So yeah, no, you definitely got to watch it. But yeah, Percy Harvin's not on there. Kind of sucks. He was raw as shit.
Mm-hmm.
The Pouncey twins aren't on there. Chris Leak isn't on there.
You do know who I'm talking about then. That's who I went to high school with. The Pouncey twins.
There's no way.
No, they're not twins. They're not twins. They are not twins. They're brothers.
Oh, you might have went to high school with like one of their brothers.
No, both of them. One of them was 2 years above me, and one of them was 1 year below me. Yes, I'll tell you some tea after the pod.
How did you go to high school with them if they were on the 2008 team?
Oh, okay, maybe it's just a legacy thing. Because
that's what I'm saying. You probably one of their brothers, if not two of them. But yeah,
no, then they're definitely not brothers because that wouldn't add up. But no, that's funny. Their last name is Pouncey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's probably one of their brothers, if not like
not
cousins,
brothers, but
sons.
maybe relative.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Either way, that is cool. They probably watched it, but
okay.
They weren't on there. They also didn't touch on Aaron Hernandez at all. Like they really didn't even like mention anything hardly about it.
Wasn't there like a big case on him?
Yeah, he so that's the thing, because that's what I was just about to say. Essentially, I feel like they didn't touch on that because they already have a documentary on Aaron Hernandez that Netflix specifically made. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you want to find out, if you want to hear about that, go watch that.
Right.
But
we're just talking about football here.
What I will say is that they don't touch on like his football career too much, or at least like how they dove into Swamp Kings is essentially how they did like the Hard Knocks. Like they show you like the behind the scenes of like everything that was kind of going on, what they were doing type shit. They don't do that not really with the Aaron Hernandez documentary. Now I could be wrong. I've watched that documentary like years ago because it came out a long time ago. But people were saying that they didn't like that. And then that just like certain people weren't in there to kind of talk about it. But me being a Gator fan, huge Gator fan, I really would have loved to hear what Chris Leak was saying, especially Percy Harvin and obviously actually all of them. Yeah, everyone that fucking wasn't on there. But yeah, all in all, regardless of them being on there or not, great watch, a lot of good information. It was mainly.
Why was it specifically 2006 or 2008? What did you say? 2006.
It was essentially from Urban Meyer's tenure there. Or tenure. So I think he became the coach.
That is, by the way.
You do know who Urban Meyer is?
Mm-hmm. Well,
thank God we're finally getting somewhere. So if I'm not mistaken, he became the coach 2005, 2006. You know, I'm a big Gator fan, not factual like that, unfortunately. That's my brother. But regardless, yeah, he became the coach then, and then in 2009, 2010, he resigned. The reason why I say that though too is because they really only cover like from 2006 really to like 2008 to an extent. A little bit before, a little bit after, but it's really mainly about Urban Meyer and what he was going through like mentally and like how he kind of approached everything, which is actually kind of interesting because I don't want to like ruin it for everyone, especially you.
You shouldn't.
Even though you're probably not going to watch it.
I am.
But you won't. And
okay.
It was just like the SEC is like the toughest conference in college football. I don't care what anyone fucking says. And the Gators have one of, if not the hardest schedules in college football alone. I stand by that. And also in the SEC. Excuse me. So with that being said, I can understand like the shit that he was going through and the things that he talked about. But yeah, it was a good watch. It's interesting. You clearly like Hard Knocks, so you'll like that. Really good watch.
Yeah, I'm a Gators fan too, so I think that would be a good one.
Honestly, shout out to Netflix for their Untolds because all those Untolds are really good. They have other ones too that you should definitely check out.
We talked about that on a different pod. I'm gonna.
My second favorite one besides that one. Well, shit. Honestly, the Johnny Manziel one was really cool too. I liked they do one on this referee that was throwing games. I think I mentioned that in another podcast. Definitely got to watch that one too.
Okay.
Definitely.
I will. I'll add them to the list. But speaking of lists, we have a list. And tonight...
we're getting into your segment?
Tonight we're going... My segment. It's our segment, Braden. Tonight we're going to do a special segment. We have a Never Have I Ever segment. So never have we ever done this segment before, nor a segment at all. But yeah, tonight's the first night. So
this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's gonna lead to some interesting conversations.
I was looking over and thinking about some stuff, and I've unfortunately done a lot, so we're kind of relying on Bailey here.
We've got a couple in here, so I'm gonna start this off, and I'm just gonna ask you. I'm just gonna ask you one of them. You gotta give me a story about it. So, never have I ever ghosted anybody.
Oh, definitely. I've definitely done that. See, the reason why I do this though, not only because I'm a pussy, but mainly because females be getting like too attached, at least to me sometimes. It's like, bro, like even like regardless of like the history that I've had, like I know I don't help with it because like I'm a very like, I don't even know how to like really say it. Like I'm like I'm a gentleman. So like I guess girls like that shit. Some don't. I don't fucking know. But you're like kind of like typical, I like to think like old school, like I don't even fucking know. Like the stuff I'm thinking of, like you would think guys do, but I feel like a lot of guys don't, or at least I just haven't heard females talking about their guys doing it. But like opening the door for them or like texting them all the time, just complimenting them like all the time. Like
that's not super common.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. It's kind of sad that it's not. I mean, to an extent, it's very cliche shit that I do,
think
but it's like
who you're surrounding yourself with, like who the kind of guys that you're meeting, and if you're meeting them at bars and stuff, then you can't really expect.
I think more or less what it is that like I gas girls up like a lot that like probably don't deserve to be gassed up, and then they're like, oh my god, I don't know. But yeah, mainly they just get too attached, or I just like don't know how to like tell you I don't want to talk to you anymore, so I'm just like, Like,
yeah.
And I'm like bad with it. Like I'll unfollow people. Like I'm really bad with that shit. I genuinely like, I don't know why.
Clean.
Happens in phases though. Like sometimes I'll just like go through and like, I'm just like, yo, like what the fuck? And like, I'll just like unfollow someone, or like if I'm talking to someone, I'll just like not respond, or I'm really bad too. Sometimes I block people.
Sometimes you have to. I'm not gonna lie, because if they're the type of people that are gonna be like, "Why'd you stop texting me? Like, where have you been?"
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
That type of stuff, and you just don't want to deal with it, and it's like there's really no connection there.
It's really the persistent ones that be like on my ass. I'm like, bro, leave me alone. Like, you knew what this was.
Have you ever been ghosted?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, well, I guess not unfortunately. It happens to everyone. But yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, it's probably for the best. If they're going to ghost you, then they didn't.
They probably heard about me ghosting.
Place.
They were like, be careful, that motherfucker ghost people. They were like, oh, watch this.
See how it feels.
See how he likes it. But yeah, no, I unfortunately do that. Not too often. It's mainly like if I look at it like cutting you off. Like that's like my cutting you off. Like I just don't want to talk to you. Like
yeah, I feel that.
And honestly too, like I don't want to like this sounds so bad. I don't want to explain myself. Like if I just don't want to talk, like that's my own prerogative. If I don't want to talk to you, bitch, I ain't gonna talk to you. Like
exactly.
I'll follow you, I'll block you, I'll delete your number, whatever I gotta do. I just don't want to talk to you.
I mean, it sucks when it happens, but I feel like I get it. You know, it's like, especially if there's no like history there. Like if you're in like a long-term relationship or something, or you know this person really well and they ghost you, like that's something different. But if it's like maybe somebody you met off Bumble, somebody you met at a bar, like it's just kind of like you're just texting back and forth or whatever. And
I more so do it if like I've met a chick off those apps, but like even so, like just to kind of give some context. So like this one chick that was kind of like I'd hooked up with a few years ago. We rekindled our friendship, whatever, started talking, whatever, went out. And I already like, I don't know, it was just weird, like off the gate. But like I'm being like flirtatious, like obviously as I would be. And I don't know, she was just like, talking about like, oh, like I was telling my mom all about you and she wants to like meet you and all that shit. And I'm talking I'm talking like out the gate type shit. Yeah. Like I ain't seen her talk to you and like, you know what I'm saying? And like certain girls too, like just like their attitude, the way that they act or talk. Like I'm all about confidence, but like arrogance and cockiness, or like if you're just like respectfully, if you're just a bitch that ain't got it and you acting like you got it, like you know what I mean? Like no, Like, no. And I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be the one to tell you that, because Lord knows I'm not gonna deal with that conversation, nor do I want to. So just simple.
And I think that like
simple
it would never work. Like you can't just humble someone and they're like, true, honestly.
Oh, especially
so right.
especially someone like that. Like it's like, dude,
it turns into an argument, and then it's like maybe they'll reflect on it later.
See, and honestly, what I found though, which is why it kind of goes to girls too, is that when I used to like try and give when I would give reasons why, it would turn into some sort of like argument or like or like, oh,
just bad
like
blood.
I'm like, bro, oh my god, like, bro, I said what I said. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, just leave it be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my stance on ghosting. I don't care if you do it. I'm not really opposed to it, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm cutting you off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I broke your heart, genuinely.
I just wish that everybody could be more mature, and so it's like you don't have to ghost because you don't have to like worry about their response. You know what I mean?
Too, just because I take someone out on a date doesn't mean that we're dating, nor means that like.
Agreed.
I feel like that's me personally, but like I feel like it's kind of like standard. Like I feel like a date at first is just to kind of get like your feet wet, kind of see where you're at.
To know somebody.
You know what I'm saying? If you start going on multiple dates, like an excessive amount,
then I guess
different conversation.
Which is weird because like you might say that you're dating, but it's not like what dating means by today's standards.
Right. Like I'm going out on dates with someone, but like I'm not like seeing them or whatever. But like if I'm just like, and it's not even like I wouldn't like some things I don't even look at it as like a date. It's more or less just like oh, like let's just go do this. Like it doesn't have to be dinner. It can be, you know what I'm saying? Or just like if I don't want it to seem like a date, I'm probably not going to take you out to dinner. So like I'm going to take like we can go to like the movies, or like we can go like
movies is such a bad first date though.
Oh, well, 100%. I've realized for first dates, like terrible idea, because
Monsters Arcade. I haven't been on a first date there, but I bet that would be a really
that
good
would
one.
probably be. I mean, anything where you can talk to somebody would be a good first date.
Yeah,
I mean,
which is why the movie sucks.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's where you take someone on like a second, third date, maybe not even second. Like that's when like you really start to get comfortable with someone.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to talk to you. Shut up.
Or again, if it's if it's like a booty call or something, you just do something else if you ain't trying.
Yeah, true. Yeah, like,
respectfully,
I don't want to hear you.
Because that's the problem too. Is that typically people will just like go like get dinner or like lunch or something, but it doesn't have to be a date, but it gets looked at like that.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not,
Okay, no, I agree with that, because it's like just because I want to hang out with the dude. Well, okay, maybe that, I don't know. Maybe that sounds kind of weird, but
a little bit.
Maybe it does. I don't mean like I'm not trying to hang out with a dude one-on-one, but like if I have a really old guy friend who like we've been friends forever or whatever,
right.
It's obviously completely platonic. Like I want to be able to do that and it like not be looked at oddly. And it not be looked at like, oh, what's going on there?
Like I feel like
well, it's just my dude.
Right.
Friend.
The worst date or the worst like thing you could do, I feel like in like a situation like that, I feel like is go like get food, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
To an extent. I don't know. I just feel like it's the world we live in, the society we live in. People have no trust. No one trusts each other.
I know.
And I mean, with everything, with cheating and social media.
I get it though. Like I get
like,
it.
You know what I'm trying to, you know what I'm getting at? Like
that actually leads me to my next never have I ever question.
Keep them coming.
So it was not in any particular order, but since we're on the topic,
let's keep it on the topic.
It was never have I ever snooped through a phone.
I've done that.
Okay. Yeah, me
Had
too.
to.
Me too. I actually
I've actually only done that once.
One time ever. Did you find something?
What I found is that it was one of my exes, and they know who. I don't give a fuck. She was just like she was literally just straight up lying like to her friend about like shit that I would say or do. Like for example, I mean I don't really give a shit, but like trying to think of like a pretty not outing. I don't care. They probably don't fucking watch it. I need to pump up my tire, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lazy individual. I don't give a fuck. I'll admit it. I'm lazy. But I'm a smart individual.
Mm-hmm.
Which means instead of driving my car to like a Wawa, or I think that's the only place that offers free gas or free air.
It is that I know of.
Right. I'm sure other places do, but you got to pay a little bit, Also takes gas to get there, right? But if said boyfriend and or girlfriend happened to have a tire pump that could pump up a car tire, wouldn't you think it'd just be smarter to pump up your tire with that?
Yeah. I
right.
would say so.
So that was essentially, and I just got over there. I wanted to talk to her to catch up, So I'm like, hey, like, will you come out with me while I do this? Oh, I don't like, bitching all that. I'm like, okay, like whatever. And so I find out in these texts that she was basically telling her friend that like I couldn't pump the tire like by myself. Like I wanted her to come out with me and like do it for me and shit like that. And I was like, what the, like literally what the actual fuck? Like that literally. So yeah, I mean, I don't remember the whole reason why. I think I was like wondering what was going on. So I was like, let me check it out. I didn't find anything, but I found that. And I was like, well, that's kind of bad as it is. So I can only imagine what other shit's going on, So, but yeah. It would have been one thing if I didn't find anything. I probably would have felt bad, but like I knew, like in the back of my mind, that's the only reason why I did it too. Because I'm like in the back, like I knew, like something's not right. Like you know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna fucking find out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
see, that's the only time I feel like it's permitted to go through a phone is like if you just have that. For speaking from a woman's standpoint, I don't know, maybe men have this some sort of too, but
my thumbprint was in her phone, by the way, so like it wasn't necessarily hard. Also knew the passcode
with the thumbprint days.
Oh well, yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna.
That's how you know it was a little bit ago.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like it's only. I don't know, not only, but I feel like it's pretty much only permitted if you have that like gut feeling, like. I heard something that feels off, or just, I have that feeling, a weird thing. I don't know, because otherwise, like in my current life, like I don't know, like you can go through my phone, but like I think I'd rather you not. Just like it's like my personal life. I'm talking to my friends and stuff. I'm not talking shit about you, but like I'm just talking about.
Yeah, that was what it really was. That like sent me is that it was just more or less like it was one thing. It would have been one thing obviously if she was talking to somebody else, but like the fact that like you're talking shit.
Yeah,
I don't really see the problem with it though. Like to an extent, like I mean, like you never. I mean, well, here's the problem. If you feel like you need to snoop through your girlfriend, significant other, whatever's phone, there's a problem. Which I knew that when I was initially doing it. I already knew it was wrong, but I also knew like the fact that I'm even doing this, there's something wrong with this picture. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So as far as that goes, like, and like we were just saying, like, if you have that gut feeling, like if you truly like, if it like is eating at, cause it was eating at me. Like I really like was like going through it. I mean, I don't really see, I mean,
I agree.
Depending on like what it is that you're doing, but like, it's not like, it's like, if you were like stealing fucking money from them or something, like obviously I can get it. But like, if you're snooping around, like if you get mad at that, like, especially if you're cheating on someone, you get mad at someone that's snooping through your phone, you're an idiot.
I feel like that's the only reason you'd really get mad.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
because then you want to, prevent like them from doing that in the future. So you present like a repercussion the first time.
Right.
Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, it all boils down with like to trust. Like, I mean, if you like, if you have to do that, then there's obviously no trust in the relationship. Like, and I knew that too. And so that would be the only problem I see with it. I mean, I'm not saying go on their phone every single fucking night. I mean, they're entitled to their own life and their own decisions and all that shit.
Right,
you don't need
privacy.
To know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need to know every single thing about them or what they're doing. But I mean, if they're saying or doing or acting a certain way and you're like, huh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, let's assess.
Like, let me just, me personally too, I did it more of like a checkup, more like just to like make sure, because I'm like, I mean, I've been cheated on enough times to where like whenever I get in a relationship, if I'm not with my girlfriend, I'm like, oh fuck, she's probably cheating on me, like type shit. Now it wasn't like that degree. I mean, there was other things that went into it, which is why. But
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Well, it happens. It happens.
You just gotta find. So
and I'm not promoting it.
I've been cheated on too, and like with my current boyfriend, when he's out and about, I'm like, honestly, don't text me. Have fun with your mate. Go have fun. Okay, well, not the check-in story again, but I don't have that feeling anymore, and it feels good, honestly. And like I don't feel like even if it's there, it's presentable. I'm like, I don't need to go through his phone. Like I could, sure, but like maybe they have some weird text in the boys group chat that I just don't need to see because it's gonna make me feel weird. I know he's not doing anything wrong, but like it just why?
And part of like I felt bad after the fact because like yes, like that's like a personal conversation that you're having with your friend. Like so, and I'm not stupid. Like obviously, boyfriends and girlfriends are gonna talk shit about each other, whether it be for real or playfully. But if you're straight up fucking lying, just straight up bullshit lying, then there's a problem. But like, I mean, yeah, like, I mean, I would say shit about my girlfriend all the fucking time. Like, I mean, that's shit that we do. I'm sure when you're with your girlfriends, you have some shit to say about your ex. I'm sure he probably doesn't like it. I'm sorry, Brandon, but I mean, we all do it. I'm sure he probably does the same shit to you. Whenever you're pissing him off, he's probably with the boys. He's at TW.
Can you believe this bitch?
Man, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? Man, I can't.
She's on one tonight.
She's sleeping on the road tonight in the driveway.
We have this joke. There's a super sketchy motel by our house, and it's called, I think it's like pay by the hour. And we always joke like, you're sleeping at the motel tonight.
Probably not a good first date option either. Yeah, probably come back with a lot more than STD.
Okay, do you want to go to the next question?
Let's do one more before you really have me.
All right, I think you should pick. You have access to the list. There's some good ones on there. There's some.
I'm a terrible human being, so like a lot of these things I've done, which is
me too. I don't think there's one on there that I haven't done. I don't think. Let me see. No, I've done all of them. No, I mean, except maybe the middle one. I don't know. I can't remember a time, but I feel like I have.
See, these aren't good.
They are good. Just say one. They are good.
Never have I ever created a fake social media account.
Oh, that wasn't on there, but
that was the one I added.
I didn't see it.
I must have not saved.
I have not personally, but I was with a friend who did.
See, that's weird.
Yeah.
That was also why I kind of wanted to talk about, like, that's weird. Like, if you're really like making fake accounts and you're doing all that, you need help.
And granted, it was in like 9th or 10th grade, and she was.
Would you consider that being a stalker? It's kind of stalkerish, right?
Yeah.
If not definitely giving off the vibes.
Especially not with like using social media that much anymore. Like thinking back on it, I'm like, oh, that's weird. But
or like, have you catfished someone? I've never catfished anyone.
No.
That's a damn lie. I know when they see you, they're like, man, hell nah.
Oh.
Sorry. That was a little bit too much.
I mean, unless you consider my Instagram with one picture being a catfish.
Yeah, because you definitely, yeah.
I mean, I was 16 in that picture.
That's what I'm saying. You straight off lying. I was waiting for the...
Fuck off.
I was joking.
No, there were some good pictures on there before I deleted them. But
oh, well.
I mean, I just don't need... I don't know. Like,
this is the perfect time to start using it. Start posting more.
I did today.
Goddamn fucking right. Slay, queen.
So you're going to watch this and you're going to go back in time and think about that post that I posted tonight. This is Wednesday.
I'm going to cherish this moment, genuinely.
7th? 8th? What's today? 6th.
It's someday in September already.
Anyways, I posted today. So,
it's the 6th.
On my story.
Wow. So now we know next week.
Gonna do another one.
Dude,
I'm can't even believe it.
It must be this podcast. You must have had a change of heart. Holy shit.
It's just because Vince isn't here.
Next thing you know, you're gonna be on OnlyFans. Wow. That's crazy.
You know, I don't know. How much time do we have? Is it time to get into that?
We can get
No, I mean, I would never. I would just like, I'm a smart person, regardless of the fact that I'm a woman. I'm a smart person, and I have like a lot going for me in that way. But you know, sometimes as a female who got it like that, it's a little tempting. You know, you're like, damn, I just don't have to work that hard, and I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I could do it, and it's like it's always there in the back of your mind.
My thing with the whole the whole thing is just weird. Obviously, it's funny because Vince isn't here, but ironically, the ironic podcast, my brother and my mom were kind of talking about this earlier, and I won't disclose necessarily what they were saying per se. It's not like it was bad, but y'all don't need to know. But more or less why I bring that up is because, you know, in our other few podcasts, we've, you know, kind of talked about the whole thing. My thing with it is the people that kind of look down on it or just have an issue with it are the same people that are still promoting it.
Yeah, by buying it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a bunch of downsides. Yeah, like, you know, the female might look a certain way, but like, You know,
You're still buying it.
Dude, if I'm a female and I'm making over a fucking $1,000 just a day, and I don't know how far I'm reaching because I don't know how much they make. I mean, but I've been on there. I'll be honest with y'all. Been on there. I've seen the prices. I pay for some shit. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't want y'all to, I'm not going to lie on this podcast. So I say that to say, I don't think I'm stretching that much. So.
And you're definitely not the only one.
Oh,
I mean, I haven't.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't. If the problem is that females make it easily accessible for shit like that, essentially nudes, sexual content, and like my personal kind of look on it, I guess, is like back then, like that was some stuff like us guys had to like grind for, like, you know what I'm saying? Now that you're making it so easily accessible, obviously, yeah, you're going to make a shit ton of money on that. But the only bad thing, I guess, is that, yeah, it does kind of make people look at you kind of differently because, you know what I'm saying? But like at that same token, like if I'm an OnlyFans model and I'm a female and I'm making $1,000 a day, I couldn't give two fucks and a shit less what anyone says about, you know, me or how they look at me. Genuinely, I wouldn't give a shit. Like, if the roles were reversed right now and it was, you know, oh, men shouldn't be posting OnlyFans, and I had an OnlyFans and I'm over here raking in the dough, kiss my ass. I couldn't give a fuck less. I couldn't. I genuinely, I fucking couldn't. More power to y'all. But with that, kind of well, I'm not gonna say with Vince not here, but like kind of the stuff that he's kind of tied in before, whether it be on or off camera, like, I do still personally, I don't think it's a good thing for females to do. I think it's kind of moving in the wrong direction per se.
I agree.
But kind of thinking about it now, you're also, I mean, kind of gives you all a little bit more empowerment because it really kind of goes to show like,
see, but
to an extent,
I kind of feel like it's the wrong type of empowerment though. That's
where I'm trying to get at is that females are empowering themselves through doing this, but it's not a good look and it's not really like something like that's good in the long run. I'm
not knocking it, you know, if you know, I get that people go through stuff, and so if you feel like that's your only option, you know, I've never been in your shoes, so I'm not going to sit here and judge you for that. That's another perfect
thing too. Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, like, you're not really contributing to like your community. You're not really contributing to society. Potentially, you're like, I don't know, breaking up families or something.
I mean,
potentially.
I would. So I think we can agree. There's probably more negatives that come out of
for sure
than positives. I mean, obviously, money will outweigh that just because it's kind of a necessity, especially nowadays. But in the long run, I just don't think it's definitely a quick cash grab. I mean, I personally don't see anything wrong with it at all. But I think this would actually, I'm gonna give y'all females some game. Actually, hold on, put my drink down.
Let's hear this.
I don't see why. I'm gonna hit the little Tate too. I don't see why. If y'all do OnlyFans and you're a type of model that makes like FU money off of it, why not then take that money and like invest it in something that's going to make you even more money where you're not having to show what's in between your legs or on your chest for $50 or $20. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just like, why not? Like,
I think that's a great idea.
I mean, genuinely, I mean, and obviously it's all relative. I mean, there's people out there, or females more specifically, that are out there that genuinely like doing that shit. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's their prerogative. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. But if you're a female that is trying to empower the female community, or just, I mean, yourself, or whatever the case may be, I feel like that would be a kind of genius way to do it. I mean, why not just get as much money as you can from this shit, invest or build a brand of some sort or anything. I mean, there's so many different avenues besides just that, you know what I mean? Which is what I'm kind of getting at. So I think if OnlyFans models started doing that, I guarantee you they're out, the way people looked at them. Well, obviously there's going to be negatives, but people might look at it differently in a more positive way. Right. I would.
I'm curious about the statistic.
Because we're the ones that fucking
do that.
Like, we're the ones that do this. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's a few females that are buying their shit, but like the guys, especially the guys that have the problem with it, y'all are the ones contributing. Like, I'm guilty just by saying that. That's why I say I don't have a problem with it. Like, I'm guilty of fucking doing it.
Exactly. If you don't want to date somebody who does that, then don't date somebody who does that. But you don't need to shit on them either, because you've never been in their life experiences. You've never done what they've done. Like you have, nor will never experience everything that they have. So like you cannot sit here and say that I would never, because you don't know.
It's a in almost a way. It's kind of similar to drug dealers. I would kind of look like. I mean,
yeah,
it's a quick cash grab. It's not something that people really look at as.
It's not like a high value thing in society.
No, you're not going to be looked up to for doing that to an extent. Like, I mean, it's just something that you can quickly kind of do to get money. Obviously you're not, naked when you do this shit, but it's still something that is frowned upon, that people don't like, that people encourage you not to do, just like they would encourage you not to, do OnlyFans.
No,
everything's relative in my opinion.
Agreed.
I think it's all relative.
I completely agree. But with that, I think it's time to end the king and queen. The real bees of Otown.
Well, kings, queens, and everyone around, if you were able to stick around, I hope you enjoyed. We will definitely be doing this one again. You haven't seen the last of the king and or the queen. We're going to be slaying this another time. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn your notifications on. Let us know what you want to see next. If you liked just Bailey and I being here and talking, let us know what you want us to talk about. Same for just if you want to hear Vince and Bailey talk, me and Vince talk, the whole shebang, man. But that was it. This will be out next Wednesday at noon, so make sure you set your calendars accordingly. With that, we out. Cool. Slay, bitches. You hoes could never.
Oof.
That was fun.
That was good.
We should definitely kick Vince off.
Agreed.